Let it not be said that I don't give credit where it's due and when it's due. I will always do my best to try and do that. And when talking about the Oakland Raiders and specifically John Gruden, there's not a lot of credit to give. The Khalil Mack trade was stupid. The whole thought and design of John Gruden's master plan has seemed pretty ridiculous. Doesn't it? Raiders are 1-5. They suck. They're trying to get rid of any talent that they have. You've already traded away your best player in Khalil Mack, and then you hear the reports they're trying to trade Amari Cooper and Carl Joseph and basically anybody of any competence that they've drafted. For what reason, we know not why. But that said, sometimes when opportunity presents itself, you have to take it and make the most of it. And by God, for all the things you could question about John Gruden and crap on him for and knock him for, this Amari Cooper trade is not one of them. I understand Amari Cooper has had some big games, but he's had a lot of games where he totally disappears and is a non-factor. Amari Cooper is established. He is certainly not a #1 wide receiver in the NFL. He is an above-average #2 at best. And his career performance and trajectory clearly indicates that. You have seen a lack of growth and progression and improvement. And you're just as likely to get a 10-yard receiving game out of him as you are a 100-yard receiving game out of him. He's no type of consistent force or presence or big play type of guy. He just isn't that dude. And to sit there and not only be able to trade him when you have a team that's going nowhere because you helped make it that way, in a lost season because you helped make it go that way. When you are able to take a #2 wide receiver whose numbers are mediocre and flip him to a mediocre team and get a first-round pick next year, you must make that deal 100 out of 100 damn freaking times. The Oakland Raiders got that price. They had to cash in. They had to strike. And they look like geniuses for doing it because now they've got 3 first-round picks in next year's draft. Surely they'll probably find a way to blow those. Nonetheless, who would be stupid enough to be desperate enough to trade a first-round pick next year when they're a middling team to get a #2 wide receiver? Jerry Jones is calling. It's the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Even the Cowboys cucks have to look at this and say, what in the fuck is Jerry Jones doing? The last 2 times this organization traded first-round picks for wide receivers, how'd that go? Joey Galloway, Roy Williams, abstract failures to disasters. And in general, the history in the league of trading first-round picks for wide receivers going back to the peerless fucking Prices of the world. How exactly has that worked out? So with all this precedent of it not working, in particular in your own damn organization, you become so desperate because you realize you had nothing at the wide receiver position that you were willing to give up a first-round pick when you're not a championship caliber, championship contending team to get somebody else's #2 wide receiver that you have under contract for 1.5 years. This is the height and epitome of stupidity, even for Jerry freaking Jones. You make this deal in the middle of the damn season, meaning you're going to bring him in, and it's going to take him time to get even acclimated to your system. And when he does, what type of impact is he really going to have? Maybe this suggests in the greater scope of things how little this team thought of Dez Bryant, and the league thinks of Dez Bryant, that they didn't want Dez Bryant back. They would rather give up a first-round pick and massively outbid anybody else in the marketplace, because I can't imagine anybody else in the trade market would have been that stupid to even consider the second-round pick for Amari Cooper, let alone a fucking first-round pick. The Cowboys just gave up a first-round pick for a #2 wide receiver. How the hell is that a good idea? How the hell does that make good business or football sense? It doesn't. This is a desperate move by a desperate team. And when desperate teams make desperate moves, they don't work out. So what, Amari Cooper is going to have 2 big games the rest of the season? He'll have 6 games where you don't know where the hell he is on the football field. And last time I checked, Jerry, that's not worth a first-round pick, you idiot.